Understanding the difference between relative, absolute and mixed cell referencing will enable financial modelers to build more efficient, effective and accurate Excel spreadsheets. This video will demonstrate the value of applying these 4 types of cell referencing in financial modeling. Excel will always reference cells by default in the relative format thanks to its default settings. In most instances, this is fine when building a financial model because the ethos of best practice financial modeling is to keep Excel formula and cell referencing very simple. In this example, we are referencing the total revenues, COGS and gross profit cells in our forecast. As we can see, when we copy and paste the cells, we are referencing the correct corresponding cells thanks to relative cell referencing. Absolute cell referencing in Excel formulas. In some cases, a financial model will require a specific cell to be repeatedly referenced in more than one formula. The below example of a forecasted loan amortization schedule, which forms part of a company's strategic plan, illustrates an example of absolute cell referencing in Excel formulas for FP&A purposes. Absolute cell referencing via the use of the F4 keyboard shortcut once is required to correctly reference the interest rate of this short-term debt facility. Additionally, the monthly principal repayment amount of $10,000 needs to be repeatedly referenced throughout the term of this facility. Remember to press the F4 keyboard shortcut once when in the formula bar of the formula referencing cell D12. Therefore, when we copy or fill these cells down the table, we achieve the correct results for the forecast loan amortization table. A couple of spot checks verifies the correct application of our absolute cell referencing in the financial model. Mixed cell referencing in Excel formulas, relative column, absolute row. Microsoft Excel permits also the best of both the relative and absolute cell referencing worlds, courtesy of mixed cell referencing. This first example of mixed cell referencing, we have forecast revenue amounts in euro, which we need to translate into US dollars for the needs of our strategic plan. Obviously, our forecast exchange rates vary from year to year, but each revenue line item will employ the same FX rate. Ensure to press the F4 keyboard shortcut twice for the referenced exchange rate cell. Accordingly, the cell reference will be mixed, relative column reference, as we will reference a different year's rate, but with an absolute row reference, same year's rate for all 3 revenue line items. Once again, it is prudent to perform a couple of spot checks on the formula referencing. Mixed cell referencing in Excel formulas, absolute column, relative row. The alternative to mixed cell referencing is where a financial model requires fixed or absolute referencing of the cell's column, but a relative or changing referencing to the cell's row. In this scenario analysis of forecast sales volume, we require absolute column but relative row referencing of a cell. Don't forget we need to press the F4 keyboard shortcut 3 times if we are to effect the correct mixed cell reference. It is dependent upon whether we include, yes or no, a revenue line item by commodity in our scenario analysis table based on the following formulas. This concludes the video giving you a quick, simple illustration of applying relative, absolute and mixed cell referencing in financial modeling and specifically strategic planning.